Hello, and welcome, everybody, to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your wonderful host, Captivating Christian, and of course, along with Brother Nate and you all, uh, we're going to have a great show tonight. And yes, I have on the glasses tonight. So they'll be coming off soon because I really don't, too much do them. But yeah, so let me know when you're ready there, sir. I'll hit you on up. Just give me the good old signal. All right. All right, what's going on? Hopefully everybody's had a great week and you can hear me. Yeah, this is Tuesday, our favorite time of the evening, where we get to talk news, politics, and all the other BS in the world and on social media. So how have you been?
Doing fine, man.
I'm doing like you today. I'm doing like you today, big brother.
Some eyes be hurt, they be red.
Right.
Just make sure it's from eye strain.
Right.
Could be some other strain, but I don't know.
No, it ain't no other strain. Anyway, what's going on, everybody?
How was your weekend?
The weekend was fine. The weekend was really cool and chill. Didn't really do much. I'm a homebody, so I don't be doing a whole lot. Yeah. So I gotta be in the mood to like really do something. And with stuff out here anyway, I'd be like, good. It gives me more of a reason to keep
your ass home
indoors. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Queen Diva? Melissa Scott. Hey, Auntie Melissa, how are you? And Miss Patty Duke. Patty, always a pleasure to see you.
Hey.
And
How's
for those
everybody
of you
doing?
Chilling in the lustrous balcony here at Cap Hill, welcome. You can drop down. I won't bite unless you want me to. But yeah, so great.
I got whatever them Kojic pills. That's a lot of foolery.
At the end of the day, it's just church folks, and
that's the scary part. It's just church folk.
Yeah, that part can be true too. But that's good. I'm glad you're well. All right. So without further ado, let us get into what it is we came here to do. First and foremost, let's go with some news. All right. So here we go with some news we can use. And these stories, some are updated, others are just news, breaking stories. And I thought this one was most important to start with. LA County has confirmed its first case of a monkeypox death. For those of you who have been under a rock somewhere, monkeypox is growing and spreading throughout the United States. At first, it was this quote-unquote gay disease, but however, the CDC has now changed its kind of wording for it being a herpes simplex virus, which has now led to its first official death out of Los Angeles County. Officials confirmed on Monday that the first death due to monkeypox in the local from a local resident. The death is also believed to be the first in the United States from the disease, but the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has not yet confirmed any U.S. deaths associated with this report. The CDC spokesman confirmed to the AP that they're working on cooperating with the LA County's officials to kind of figure out the resident that died. And the hospital and working with other health officials to kind of get a sense of this. I mean, as I'm reading, it's not much here, but the health department did send out its heartfelt condolences and wishes for healing for the family and friends and mourning the loss of their loved one. So, but no further information has been given out regarding the person that has passed away. The health officials are recommending that everyone who is severely compromised or suspect that they have come in contact with someone with monkeypox seeks medical attention early. The virus is transmitted by skin-to-skin contact, respiratory droplets, and with an infected person. They can be very painful. So I definitely want to be on the lookout for that. California itself has recorded that most of its cases nationally are with Black and Latino people disproportionately affected by this monkeypox. So definitely want to make sure that we are that you're keeping yourself healthy and getting tested. And hell, get the vaccine if you can or if it's available to you. I have heard that you kind of got to sort of lie and mix yourself out to be a hoe just to, just to get the
Comes to the
vaccine.
front of the line, huh?
But I mean, if a hoe gets you to the front of the line, then bitch, be a hoe. But no, I just definitely, most importantly, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, because if you're not taking care of yourself, don't expect people to do it for you. Health is wealth here, so we definitely want to make sure that we are taking precautions to take care of ourselves. And welcome to everybody coming into the room. Hey, James Smith, how are you? Nice to see you. Finally, I get somebody to answer on the other side of Facebook, because usually,
on Facebook,
yeah, I couldn't see the comments till later.
See it coming up.
Right. So moving right along from there.
Real quick, for people up in the New York area, be on the lookout. Polio is making a comeback, and it is in the Hasidic Jew section because they don't vaccinate.
Oh,
so that's what's happening. So normally you would have your polio vaccine when you're a baby, or before you would attend school. But see, they don't. They not homeschool, but they run their own like charter schools. So that's not a requirement for them. To have the I guess the immunizations that normally you would pick up going to a public school. So I see that one. It's like all these things are making a comeback really fast. Really fast. And I was real surprised to hear the Hasidic Jews. But their whole school system is crazy anyway. It's not what it seems to be. Their children can't even read and do simple math, because that's not the importance. They're important. What they concentrate on is the biblical. Wow. So you may have what 1 or 2 hours of regular study, reading and writing, arithmetic, and things like that. But everything else is it's their religious study. And that, so because they ended up testing them, testing the kids, because now
general knowledge,
it's on general knowledge, and these kids couldn't even basically read.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
The reason why they get away with it is because they're a big voting bloc. And whoever they put in office, they kind of look the other way. They allow them to go ahead. They don't have to follow any national or state guidelines as far as education goes, because they do run their own charter schools. And that's only because of see what your vote can do, good or bad.
Yeah. Right. That's true. That is ridiculous. That's child abuse in and of itself. I mean,
because then
what kind of future are you leaving?
Yeah,
the children.
Your children, if they go outside of the community, they're fucked. Pretty much. Yeah, because I was reading article. It's in the New York Times, where a lot of they spend all their money internally. They spend the money right there in their community. So
well, I mean, a lot of those communities do. I mean, I don't understand why we don't, but a lot of communities do. You have the Asian communities, they spend a lot of their money, they recycle it back in their areas, and other places do as well. But it's always hard for us. We spend our money outward.
We don't really have a lot that's concentrated in all of these, in all of our areas.
Right.
You might have something, or everything's scattered here, but this is on that side of town. Where these communities, they've always done it from the very beginning. So everything's local right there. You're going to have restaurants, corner stores, hairdressers, things like that right there, where ours is over here, over there. It's not concentrated in one area, like Chinatown. Chinatown is pretty much everything's right there.
Yeah, no, I get that. All right.
Hey, Pastor Nate, how you doing?
Yeah, what's going on, Pastor Nate, the other Nate? How are you,
And I'm
Pastor
just
Nate?
Nate.
Nice to see you. Right. So also in some updated news, the Cape Coral has their drinking water supply has been tainted with intestinal bacteria E. coli. Officials also said on Monday and have ordered that the city of its 190,000 residents not drink their tap water. Just last week, we were talking about West Baltimore having tested an area before they, before the water actually went into the system, that it was contaminated with E. coli. So yeah, here we have another area. Now I'm not sure where is Cape. Is that in Maryland?
It's in Florida.
Florida. Okay, I thought so.
You know what? You want to scare yourself? Google E. coli, and you'll see in the news. You'll see a list of places, and I would just tell everybody to go ahead and do that. Just.
I'm too much of a hypochondriac.
and find out whether you got it or not.
But definitely check it out because it is important to know.
It is that time of the year.
Yeah. So Cape Coral in Florida is definitely. I was like, I know that place is in Florida, but then I was thinking, well, it may be in Maryland somewhere that I've never heard of because I always hear somebody say something and I'm like, where's that? They're like, oh, that's in Maryland. Like, I never heard of it, but
some cubby hole somewhere.
Yeah, right, exactly. But yes, so we definitely want to be on the lookout for that. They are suggesting that, of course, you don't drink your tap water, not even to boil it at this point, because it is unsafe. So put in E. coli, check out your areas, make sure your area that you live in is not on the list or close by. I wouldn't even do close by. I wouldn't even care if they'd be like, well, it's not in my supply, but it may be in the supply 2 towns over. No, but y'all all drinking the same water. To me, I don't. I can't. I don't follow. So
just make sure you buy your water and rotate, and make sure you rotate it too. Rotate it out.
Yeah. So the Florida Health Department, which I side-eye them too from the whole 19 thing, but they say that symptoms of E. coli infection after an average incubation period of 3 to 4 days can include diarrhea, abnormal abdominal cramps, and fever, usually low grade or absence, unlike most bacterial diarrhea illnesses. The health department does say that the average of 59E coli infection per year have been reported in Florida. So I didn't even know they had like different levels of this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy.
I was wondering if those tap filters that you get that you can buy with the filtration system, I wonder if that filters out E. coli. That'll give me something question. You're right, Patty, drinking that City Punch.
Right.
and our water down here in Baltimore City is just so flavorful. It keeps some joints from squeaking when you're walking up the stairs.
No way. Where I am, it tastes like, and it's always tastes like that. And I never drank it since the first day I've been here. But it tastes like river water.
Oh, okay. Well, you up there in them mountains.
Yeah, but I think it was just like, ugh, who drinks this? No, I'm not.
No, ours is so flavorful. I don't know what's in it, but it's flavorful.
No, thank you. No, thank you at all.
It makes great Kool-Aid.
What color? What flavor? Red.
But you know how you solve all that? Just put some brown.
Put some sugar.
Put some brown liquor in it.
Yeah, right. Liquor kill everything. Also, in some updated news, I don't know if we talked about it before, but it's been passing through. The BYU found no evidence in the racial hackling towards a black volleyball player. The Duke sophomore, Rachel Richardson, and her black teammate were subject to a nonstop racial slurs by the BAU fan on Friday. Instead of the university actually having an outside person do the investigation, they did the investigation themselves in house. And crowd participation is a part of any sport event. And unfortunately, some of the fans use that time to say the nastiest things to black athletes. Brigham Young University had banned a fan from all the athletic facilities after Duke University's volleyball player Rachel Richardson and others alleged that they were targeted and racial slurs was heckled to them throughout the entire match. The investigation that Brigham Young University investigated, which should have been handled by outside of the school, but they did not. They said that they did not find any evidence of the alleged heckling, according to CNN. Yeah, so as a result of the investigation, we have lifted the ban on the fan who was identified as having uttered racial slurs during the match. The university says that in a statement that we have not found any evidence that the individual engaged in such activity. BYU sincerely apologizes to that fan for any hardship the ban has caused. Now, my thing is that person obviously the woman and some of the teammates heard this person saying these racial slurs and identified the person as the person who said it. Now, my thing is this person's parents a donor to the school to some degree? So that's why they did the investigation themselves, found out who the kid was, and the parents was like, well, we're not going to support the school anymore or whatever. And so they, did their own investigation and released the ban on the fan who did it. Because I'm just saying, so what are you saying? The woman was a liar? And her teammates too?
Yeah, and her team. Well, it's easier to call a black woman a liar than to address the real issue and the problem. And they probably kind of figured also they're just visitors.
Right.
So what they could do is just if they have any more games scheduled to play against that particular team, just don't play them.
Just don't play them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just don't go there.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy.
Because with anything, if you're going to police yourself, you know what the outcome is going to be.
Right. Especially when you like them.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Them. Just crazy. Just crazy. In other news, hold on, I was waiting for this other article to populate because it didn't. No, we're not going to do that just yet. I know there was something else before that one. Nope, I think. Oh, right. So, of course, the death of Queen Elizabeth this past week has sent Black Twitter in frizzy over a lot of things. Irish Twitter has a lot to say as well about the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Everything from the reactions being a bit celebratory.
They partying hard.
Yeah, and
I heard that there was bottles being passed.
I mean, a life is a life that's lost, and granted, 90 some odd years. I mean, I'm not surprised as if it was like a shock, like, oh, I mean, she lived a great life. She didn't have to do shit.
She was 96.
And 96 years old.
How long? Well, you know what? Actually, She should have lasted longer than that. Living,
Yeah, well, her
living
mother
a
lived to be
privilege.
101, to
Yeah.
be 101. So,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, of course, all of the other things about the uh, tarnishing of British imperialism and the racism, slavery, colonialism, and all those things, which I definitely don't disagree with. I don't know. When people wait for people to die and they want to talk all that stuff instead of like while the person is living, always addressing that, like, hey, how about you address the fact that your jewels have been stolen from many of the countries that you have in your commonwealth? Why is that? Why haven't you returned them or paid the people back for their goddamn jewels? But
Yeah,
those conversations
sure
aren't
didn't
had.
get them off of Amazon like that
Yeah.
pastor got that ring.
should have indeed. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, granted, I'm very much for people getting their money and getting their pay that they deserve. But at the same time, for me, when a lot of people over here talk all that mess, but you don't hear them talking about reparations or anything like that, that's where I'll be looking side eye with the what? Like, you don't talk nothing about reparations,
They have a kinship with these people.
but you have everything to say about that. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. You said they have a kinship to them?
Yeah,
Oh,
they have a kinship to them.
really?
Even though their ancestors, left the country because of religious prosecution.
Right. That part
But
is true.
they're Anglo-Saxon, so
Yeah.
they're the original white people.
Yeah, right. But that is my thought. Like, even in this, when people are upset, it's like, okay, I get it, and I totally understand it, and you have every right to feel the way you feel. But we talking about the same white folks. Nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be great for those people to say, you know what, that has happened. Let's atone for that. But again, let's take a big news flash. At the end of the day, even in what Germany had done, they did it to other white folks.
Mm-hmm.
So granted, they may have been of a different faith, but at the end of the day, they was just as white as a lot of the Germans, minus, some of them having dark hair or whatever. So it was easier for them to go, okay, let's atone for that. Let's give you a whole bunch of Mercedeses. You can take them down to Israel with you.
I'm Jewish.
Right. And then on top of that, every year we're just going to send you a check, and not only you, but your descendants will be able to get that same check that we've been giving to you once you pass on. And they still get them to this day. But you think black and brown people, huh?
I said, damn, it must be nice.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you think black and brown people, that's something that's not going to happen. It would be nice, but why are we waiting for it? Why are you waiting for it? Like, either you're going to fight for it and demand it, or you're just going to just take it as it is. I don't, it's like, we got our own issues here of people dying constantly, police brutality and other things. And I'm sure other countries do too. But the things we focus attention on is like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know if you expected a 96-year-old woman to go, you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have been walking around with all them goddamn jewels on that was left from my great grandmother and grandfather and this one and that one. Let me give them back. They're not going to give them back. Now, give you money for them, maybe, but give them back, I don't see that happening. I really don't. I just don't. Now, maybe Charles could fool us and be different and do something different, but
I don't think so.
I don't see it.
But it's a damn shame when when your mother look younger than you do. Oh my God! I was like, how old? What did she have him when she was like 16 or something? I mean, God
No,
damn!
she was in her late 20s, but
Oh, like spoiled milk.
because he been stressing trying to trying to get to that spot. He
Mm-hmm.
couldn't he
Yeah, your
couldn't
first
wait.
your first day at work at what, 75?
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
when I saw that headline, I howled.
You've been dying for the job. You've been training for the job your whole damn life, and now you
Hmm.
got it.
Well, I really didn't expect her to last too much longer after her cousin died.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Right. I mean, it
you
was
know,
like
when you're
when you
75
with
years,
somebody when you're with someone that long, it's like you depend on them kind of like they depend on you. And not
mhm,
having that, you feel like there's really no sense for me to be here. Granted, you had children and great grandchildren and all these other things to kind of, keep you motivated and keep you going, but her whole family's gone. Like she's the only
yeah,
one left.
yeah,
So
that's one of the curses of
yeah,
a
long
long
life.
life.
Yeah. So you're the only one left. So yeah, I mean, granted, I was a bit taken back at first, but then it was just like, well, she is 96.
Yeah, it's like that's what I kept reminding everybody.
Yeah,
She's 96,
right.
and she was still up to like the last couple of weeks. She
Yeah,
was,
she was
she still looked
doing
pretty good.
still doing what she was doing, right? Still
Hmm.
doing what she devoted herself to doing. Now, I give you that. She may not have talked about wanting to give back those damn jewels or give people any money for the jewels that uh her ancestors have stole, but God damn it, she was on that job to the very last minute.
Yeah, that's right. But we still don't know what was in that purse.
Black hands and all. No, we don't. Black
Hmm.
hands and all. I said, oh God, death is coming. Look at them hands. Them hands was black.
Yeah, she was looking.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, you wear out, you break
Yeah,
down.
you break down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But oh, Melissa, you should have hooked up with your connect.
Oh damn.
She'd have been all right. She'd have definitely been all right.
She'd have pushed through, right?
Oh
All right.
yeah, she'd have definitely been all right.
All right.
The
So
one thing real quick
mhm.
is that the problem that I had with people were bashing, all these other groups that were celebrating.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell them how to feel?
Right, right, right,
She's not the superhero to
right. To
everyone.
them. Yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can't tell them how to feel.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about atrocities,
Yeah.
torture,
Right.
starvation.
Right.
You
Because I
know,
know D.L. Hughley had mentioned something about that, about people gloating in someone's death and not having a sense of uh, being a human and realizing that another life has been lost. So you should feel some way. And it's like, no, granted, some people, feel that
I don't have no
she,
problem. If you
she
were an
never done
asshole
nothing
while you
for
were
me.
alive,
Right, right. Right. Then she ain't never done nothing for me or, my people or the level of oppression that we had to deal with under her rulership is something that we can now celebrate. But in the reality of it all, like you celebrating it, but you do know what, and the reason for this is it don't stop. A new one takes its place. As soon as she went, it was like
yeah.
all hail the king. So you still, you praising to myself, woo, ooh, but you still under that oppressive foot. So now what do so what are you really celebrating? That's the only part that I kind of was like, y'all doing all this celebrating, but y'all still a commonwealth under
Yeah.
the
Oh, but a lot
figurehead of the British Crown. Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them they're plotting.
Yeah, they
I
are clones.
hear them
Yeah,
plotting.
they
They're
are
talking about we're going to
clones.
vote. With coming new year, or they have elections and things
Right,
coming up.
right.
They're plotting. So
Yeah, they
there's
are.
going to be a lot of people going their own way.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. And I mean, at this point, why shouldn't they?
Mhm.
It's like the monarch is just a figurehead at this point,
Yeah.
and they should be able to run their own government and have their own figurehead. If it happens to be the president of their nation, then so be it, without it being the king now at this point.
Not only that, have a new face on some money.
Yeah, and that too. That too.
Here you in the islands. The whitest thing is your money.
And the whitest thing is your money, right? Island and nothing but black folks or brown skinned folks, and some Chinese. I seen they seem to be making their way to the islands now, which is funny to me. But anyway, all right. So federal appeals court has upheld a Jim Crow era Mississippi law restricting the rights to vote to felons. Didn't I read that last week?
I'm not sure.
I think I did. That's why I was looking at it like I read this last week, but I think it was a different article.
It might have been a different article. Okay. Or it might have been. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was an update. It might have been an update.
Yeah, this one might have been. But on Wednesday, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a Mississippi law restricting the right to vote for certain convicted felons. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Florida had did it. It was Florida.
Okay. Yeah, it was Florida. Yeah.
Florida. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. All right. So for certain convicted felons, that was first crafted during the Jim Crow era. This 10-7 decision, again, the importance of voting, 10-7 decision was uprooted by the court that through section 241 of the Mississippi State Constitution, which originally was written for racist reasons back in 1890, is no longer racist in its efforts. So that was their reasoning on bringing it back. But if it was racist in nature, it's still going to be racist. But whatever. So the state's constitution has converted the steep racist history of this motion back to discriminate against blacks way back in 1890. So, yeah, I don't know. It says plaintiffs who failed to meet their burdens to show of the current version of the 241 motion to discriminatory intent. Hold on one second. Provision, the question, I know I put some notes here somewhere. Okay, yeah, right. So the state constitution, in a nutshell, prevents people from voting who were convicted of certain felonies, which included forgery, rape, murder, among other crimes as well. And they, getting their rights to vote taken away. The same thing, the reason why it was so similar, because Florida had just passed a similar law restricting people from voting. Some people who were convicted then went through the process to get their rights to vote reinstalled, and Governor Ron DeSantis just arrested like 20 folks for illegally voting. So, this is a movement that is happening definitely through all of these red states to ensure that they maintain power. And again, when we say your vote matters and it counts, it does. They wouldn't be going through this effort to take it away if it didn't matter. Excuse me, your thoughts on any of this?
Well, at least the one good thing when DeSantis arrested these people, coming to find out, it was actually not the people's fault. It was actually the voting election board's fault, because they told them that they could vote.
Right.
Now, what they should do is all of them pull up on that ass and sue the fuck out of them.
Right.
For false arrest.
Right. Pretty much.
But then too, now you see how these states follow right behind each other. One tries it, it's an experiment. One tries it, and the other one says, "Oh, I think we can do that too."
We can do one better. So this lawsuit has urged that the law violates the 14th Amendment, which is equal protection clauses under the law. It originally was drafted, of course, with racial intent, restricting people's rights to vote. Under this provision, of the basis of conviction for 8 felons that they're looking into getting this overturned. So, I don't know. I really hope this works out in their favor. But again, this is where voting matters, and not just sitting out and only voting for presidential elections, but voting for local elections and your local officials, because these are the people that really make shit move. And there's no way you get any headway with actually making a change when you still have people erecting Jim Crow era laws. I mean, there's nothing else. There's no other way to sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, those things should have been abolished a long time ago.
How do you even bring that back up as a sense of, oh, well, it's not racist in nature now? It's like, no, it still is. Definitely, if you know your prison systems are far more with black and brown bodies than it are with counterparts, then obviously, yes, that would then be restricting people from coming out of the prison system and kind of regaining themselves back into society. The right that, oh, well, you can't vote. So even if the state plans to release, if they do, for example, if they do a criminal reform and they release a lot of prisoners who have been jailed due to sentences that were given that were stricken down that were really, obscene for the crime, you're still kind of telling these people, oh, well, you can't vote because we don't know what the others are. I mean, they said rape and other things, and they was like others, but they didn't name them. So we don't even know what the
left up to interpretation.
Yes, right. That could be anything.
And that's where they grab you.
Exactly. Hustling drugs or anything. So it's like when it's unclear, that's where it becomes a problem. What happened?
You be out here doing cows or something.
Right.
And it's like, because it's left up to interpretation, it could be anything that they want it to be.
Yeah, that is very true. Very, very true. Let's see what else. Any thoughts you had on that before I head on to this other story? All right. Good. So a Texas eighth grader was pulled from class and grilled about his gender identity. As children return to school, the impact of Governor Hot Wheels anti-trans redirectives have been felt by trans students and their families. So this is crazy, but I'm just like, did they say eighth grader? That's still a child, though.
Oh yeah, and they had to be white. They had to be white.
It's like, I don't have a problem with children expressing themselves, but let children be children. Do not try to, let them figure that out and discover whatever they want to discover. But for right now, at least until you're 18, just do be a kid. Be a kid. Yeah. That's just too early to even, I don't know.
But it's one of those things. Children are vicious. And as soon as a kid, as soon as it's not his friends, but his peers pick up on it,
right? Because
he's a little different,
right?
She's a little different. It's living hell from the whole time. So, can you imagine being at home, and in your house is the only safe place where you can actually be your
authentic self.
Yeah. You can't go out into the into the streets. You can't go into your neighborhood.
Right.
You probably don't have any friends. But then to go to school and you're comfortable enough to be yourself because now you see that all these other people are doing it too, that you're not alone, that type of thing. Right. Yeah. But unfortunately, everybody's not up to par at the same speed, and it's mostly your adults.
Yeah, and that's the part that is sad and unfortunate. That is the adults leading the example of this bully culture a little bit. Like right now, Governor Greg Abbott, really feels like gender affirming care can be investigated as child abuse. Personally, I just feel like what a parent or how a parent chooses to support their child and whatever, that's their business. That's their child. They made it, or however it came about. That is their responsibility to take care of. That's not on me to judge, nor me to kind of say what they should and should not do. I just feel like, though, in dealing with children, let them just develop into whatever that space is going to be. Because one day they wake up and they, want to be Superman. Next day they wake up, they may want to be a fairy, or next day they wake up, it's just like give them that.
They change so often, and,
right.
and things are so new.
Right. Give them that opportunity.
Just allow them to do that.
Yeah.
Don't say, well, we're going to go out, because you could have some parents that go hog wild and say, oh, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, blah, 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 blah. And they're going 100 miles an hour. And it's like, no, let them take baby steps and let them try to figure out, because there are a lot of life-changing things that are going to happen to them down the road that they haven't even thought about yet, and you change so often. It's like, you know what, I like that dress, but it don't mean I want breasts. I'll just wear the dress. I don't want to go 100%, because of course parents not knowing or not understanding how, especially with the gender thing goes. They just assume that now you have to have SRS surgery, you have to do this, and it's like, no, there are different levels to this.
So apparently on August 30th, child welfare employees had pulled a 13-year-old transgender boy out of the classroom and proceeded to interrogate him for hours about his gender identity. And first and foremost, you're not supposed to do that without the parent.
No, first and foremost, if I was a fucking parent, I'd have been in jail. Because why are you torturing my child?
Right.
Who told you that? Who told you to do this or to say anything that does not, the child does not have marks on them or anything else?
Right.
But you're doing this because of the asshole that's running the state. Okay.
You mean rolling around in the state?
My bad. Okay.
But
it
is ridiculous.
Oh, I'd have broke my foot off in their ass. Oh, there'd have been a lot of shit, because first of all, I'd have been on the teacher's ass, I'd have been on the principal's ass,
right?
Because somebody should have contacted me,
right?
And you always have people trying to tell you how to raise your children.
I mean, they want to tell you to make them, and then they want to tell you how to raise them.
Now you got to pay for them too, so don't be out here just be thinking you shooting in the dark.
You're gonna hit something.
And you're gonna pay up until, I guess, your the child's old enough they can do a paternity test.
Right.
Gotta tell you, man.
Right. And also, speaking of bans against LGBT, here we go with Florida and Governor DeSatan. So crazy.
Has he left anything? I mean, he runs down the whole list. I don't think there's anything.
There's not a thing that this man won't touch. So Florida School Board has refused to recognize LGBTQ month. And are we really surprised? But they bring in so much money, so I don't even understand how you do
that. They won't be down there. They won't have what is it, gay Pride Day at Walt Disney.
I mean, I don't know if this even, but the school board voted on this, but I didn't know that they even did this in school, really. But you know what I think this is? Actually, I think this is a way to usher in taking, because you gotta go after one thing to then open the gates to everything else.
Yes, for everything.
So Miami-Dade County School Board had voted against recognizing October as LGBTQ History Month, according to ABC News. The month hasn't been recognized.
Does that fall under CRT?
Huh?
Does that fall under CRT? We can't have them homosexuals out here,
right? So it hasn't been. No, that's what you. So it hasn't been recognized on a federal level like Black History Month. However, Against students' wishes, the board declined their ability to acknowledge the history of the LGBTQ people
But
in
it makes us
American history.
feel bad.
But I just think that without doing that, you're going to come after the other ones next. You're going to come after Black History Month. You're going to come after
Yeah, that's right.
Spanish Heritage Month. But you're probably not going to do that too much because you're in Florida and you need their votes. But I'm sure you're going to be chipping away at other stuff. It's just like, first of all,
these are Christians.
But everybody has contributed. But everybody has contributed to the history of the United States. Everyone. So
no, only white people did it. Only white evangelicals. I was going to say evangelicals, genitals, evangelicals.
They are,
but you have people that actually think like this, and this is the shit. This shit is dangerous. It is dangerous.
That's crazy. Just are you crazy? Just crazy. But yeah. Anyway, again,
so what's next?
Your local elections matter, and these are some hot button people running. We got Stacey Abrams in Georgia for her gubernatorial race, round 2, part 2. And she's been killing it on the debates. I don't even know why he chooses to debate her. I am most concerned, however, Raphael Warnock's race in Georgia, it being so close with that damn idiot Herschel Walker. I mean, a fucking fool. But they will do anything to ensure that they have power, even by putting somebody as slow as a Herschel Walker.
And they know he's a placeholder. That's all.
Yeah, but I mean, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It don't even make no sense. It really doesn't.
So that means they're gonna have to go down there. They're gonna have to go and show out again and vote. Warnock in.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
I'll tell you one thing: Herschel Walker's son has been awfully quiet.
Of course he has. It is old.
Screaming queen. Every time he opened his mouth, I'm like, this motherfucker.
I don't even think that's his son, tell you the truth.
Well,
but whatever. So in other news, Alabama.
Mom didn't swallow.
She didn't swallow somebody's, but I don't think it was Herschel's. Alabama is gelling pregnant marijuana users to protect the fetuses. So yeah, again, here we go. Another southern state cracking down on pregnant women, telling you what to do with your body. So Alabama, this pregnant woman who was arrested for drug offenses and not allowed to post bail and go free. Her name was Ashley Banks. Had learned the hard way, as the article says. At a traffic stop, the police officer found a small amount of weed in Ashley Banks' car. The 23-year-old woman living in Alabama admitted to the cop that she had smoked marijuana 2 days ago. And however, the same day that she learned she was pregnant, with 6 weeks along, it was disclosed that she was pregnant. Which led the officer then to take her to jail. Without a trial for the next 3 months, Alabama has unexpectedly high in these kind of rates. They have locked up about 938 people in a town residency of about 100,000.
Don't come on my block.
So they've been doing this shit like on the regular. Wow, that is crazy.
And I won't have no neighbors.
That is crazy. I don't know how to pronounce this town, but it's Etowah County. I don't know. I would stay the hell away from it anyway.
It's in Alabama. That's all you need to know. Alabama, don't go, because you might walk through there by mistake.
But how do you do that? And you keep people in jail because you don't want them in jail.
But in turn, just like you have another story there where you end up stressing them out. You cause them a risk.
Risking pregnancies, because at that point, they want to go. You don't necessarily know what other health conditions they do have, or have they been taking their, the prenatal vitamins and stuff to keep the baby healthy. So you don't know any of this stuff, yet you playing God, doctor, and everybody else because you want them to keep a baby. And I wonder, because this woman is white, was that the only reason? Because of course we all know that the strike down on Roe v. Wade, it's not really because they too much cared about babies necessarily. They just cared mostly about the fact that in a few years, earlier than they even anticipated, that they will no longer be the majority in this country, that they will be a minority. And they don't want history to repeat itself in reverse on them. But I mean, even though I really don't see that happening, but whatever. White folks are funny. But so stay the hell out of Alabama. And for those of you who live in Alabama, no disrespect, but just goddamn. In the words of the beautiful Nina Simone, Mississippi, goddamn, Alabama, goddamn.
That's some crazy shit.
That is. How you arrest somebody and want them to just don't make no sense. Let's see. Oh, I'll talk about that one later. And we'll talk about that one later. And what was this one? I don't know. Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay, so here we go. Back to Texas. It's like Florida, Texas. They are playing like ping pong.
But why are people moving down there to those states?
I don't know. I really don't know. Well, one, I would say probably homes and stuff are cheaper.
Okay.
However, a lot of the Republicans think that people are moving down there to kind of change the voting dynamic.
Yeah.
That's what they're mostly scared about. And I think that's why they're pushing a lot of these draconian laws and putting them in place. So Texas, another place where a judge has ruled that HIV drug mandate violates religious freedom. A federal judge in Texas on Wednesday has ruled that the provision in the Affordable Care Act that requires businesses to provide health insurance offering HIV prevention drugs violates religious freedom of the Christian-run business. The ruling from the U.S. District Court from Judge Reed O'Neill focused on the claims from Briarwood Management, a Christian for-profit corporation owned by Stephen Hoyt. It is that they feel that it's their right were violated by mandate under the Religious Freedom Act, that they had to provide PrEP and other pre-exposure HIV drugs, which research shows has reduced the risk of contracting HIV from sex by about 99%. Now, mind you, that company only has about 70 employees, but they felt like their rights were being violated for having to provide PrEP drugs to their employees, because their employees, they felt that homosexual behavior violates their religious beliefs by making them comply to paying for these kind of drugs. So
what about the people who take PrEP that aren't homosexual?
Because HIV is just a homosexual sexually transmitted disease.
Okay. Now everybody should keep this story in the back of their mind. See how many other states
with the bullshit. Thing. That's all I'm saying. Yep. With the bullshit. Texas with the bullshit. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. That's it. Texas with the bullshit.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of shit. That's why God do them the way they do them.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Jesus, thank you, Lord, thank you. This is the but this is the but again, nothing. If we're going to talk about Christianity and God and how God would treat others, the main commandment was treat people how you would want to be treated, or treat them as yourself. To deprive people of a drug that would help the spread of HIV, which is not just a homosexual disease. There are women, straight women, and straight men who have contracted HIV due to either not knowing what their sexual partners were doing or just having moments. And unfortunately, that happens. So, again, the reality of a lot of these different diseases and viruses need to change. It's always geared towards homosexuality, and that's not even the case. If you do your research and really, crack a book open, other than the one that you honor so much, that has been reconfigured to control people. I just don't. But there we go with Texas. God damn you.
Now you're gonna hear all these other companies talking about they don't want to
right.
They don't want to have to pay for it.
Exactly. And that's the only thing that I say is the problem. Because once you open those floodgates, here comes everybody else talking about, well, by the way, I feel like my religious freedoms are violated too. What the fuck ever. But anyway, in other news, elected officials, police chiefs have all been found after a leaked Oath Keepers list had popped up. I know we talked about this.
Somebody in Hack Sam's Club.
We had talked about this a while back, a few weeks back, when it first broke that a lot of the lists of these Oath Keepers, these white supremacist kind of malicious groups were coming out, that a lot of the police officers, military, and so on and so forth were actually members. But recently, another list has leaked of names of hundreds of U.S. law enforcement officers, elected officials, military members that have appeared on a leaked membership roll for the far-right extremist group, which is accused of playing a key role in January 6th at the U.S. Capitol, when, they went ape shit and just literally start throwing shit and shitting on the walls. Like, no, these grown political, it's all about Jesus. These are the same fools that literally defecated on the walls and in the halls of the state capitol. Just disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting. I can't. Yeah. So this list had about a good 38,000 folks of the Oath Keepers.
Look and see if there's anybody you know.
Right. Look on it and see if it's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised it's a whole lot of people that we know. The list have identified more than 370 so far people that they believe are currently working in law enforcement agencies, including police chiefs, sheriffs, and even more than 100 people who are currently members of the military. Again, not surprised. Yeah. I don't know why sometimes they get so surprised about their own people doing the bullshit that they do.
They knew. No, they're surprised that the shit leaked out. That's the whole thing.
Okay, because I'd be like, so
they knew it was going on because we've been talking about that for years.
Years, right? Like, why are you so surprised that you didn't know that these people were in here? They're in there.
We are in a time of reckoning.
Right.
All this stuff is coming out. Everything.
That's it. After 2020 is vision, clear vision. After 2020, everything is just spilling out, just like a purge. Everything is just like coming up, and you get to really see the true nature of things that people try to hide. We've been saying for years that law enforcement has been a haven for these white supremacist neo-Nazi type of situations. Everybody, oh no, 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 I back the blue, I back the blue. Here you go. So you black and the blue and the white in sheets, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this is humanity's good shit.
Oh,
That's what this is.
all right.
Sometimes when sometimes you just backed up your guts.
Is
Just
that a healthy shit? Is this a healthy shit?
it should be because it cleans
Oh.
you out,
Oh.
puts everything out in the open.
Mm.
You just can't eat meat all the time.
It's
You gotta eat
one of them good sea moss shits. Just
Yeah.
get you all. You be on the toilet forever, but when it come out, you feel so fresh and light.
You feel light.
You do. Jeez.
You lose weight.
You probably do. At least a good 2-3 pounds. Shit. That
Oh
shit
shit!
crazy.
Well then, yeah. Well, speaking of shit,
Yeah,
humanity definitely needs a good shit.
because it definitely
It really does.
It gets you cleaned out. I do know last week we did talk about this, so I know this part we talked about. But the portraits of the former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as they returned to the White House. Wasn't it last Wednesday? Well, I feel like
it was
last Wednesday.
It was last Wednesday.
It was last Wednesday. So their portraits are now hanging in the White House, as they should have during that yellow Cheetos, that orange Cheetos term in office, because that would be the respectful thing to do. You have the painting unveiled, and then you keep it moving. Nobody said you got to sit there and do kumbaya and play whatever. You just, here's your pictures. It'll be in the White House. We ain't even got to know that you hung it up. All you had to do was really just have the thing, and they would have went on about their business. But you two have a spoiled child to do that. So now your predecessor has to do it. But the question is, will he now invite you to the White House?
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
That would be interesting.
Who's going to do you and Melania?
That would be interesting. And is she going
nice.
to be dressed in her portrait?
Yeah, because I don't want to see her vagina. I don't want to see that.
I mean, is she going to do? I think I want to do my Playboy. I want to redo my Playboy.
No, but will his portrait have bars in front of it?
That's what it should have bars in front of it, but I don't know. But definitely there were some great portraits. Take a look at it if you can in your spare time. I did.
This is their second set of pictures that they've had done, right?
It is. They have one set that is actually in the Smithsonian, which of course was the one with the flowers and all the
flowers and everything. Yeah.
Right. So those are there, and this is their official portrait.
Okay. Because I thought that was the official ones at first.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Okay. Because I was like, boy, that's kind of different. It didn't. It didn't.
They have to be that different. Like, oh, they must have been black. Because look at the portraits.
Yeah.
It's totally different from everybody else's. But no, the other portraits were for the Smithsonian. This one is actually officially for the White House. However, I was reading comments under, because everyone's like, oh, Barack Obama's portrait is just so plain. And then I read this comment and I was like, wow, that is awesome. It was like, why is it just him in a white space? It's so plain. There's nothing behind it. Nothing. And somebody put, it is an abstract picture of a black man being in a space full of whiteness, a white space. And the White House has normally been a white space, and he has been the first and only black person in that space. So why not have a complete full background, which is completely white, with this black man in the space? And I was like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's some deep shit.
Yeah, that is dope.
But he should have had on his tan suit. That's
right. I am still lost at what the fuck the uproar about a suit.
Because they needed to find something. I mean, but it was nothing, And
at the end of the day, it was Easter when he wore it. Like, that's when you wear it, bitch. Like, I don't understand. But y'all don't go to church, so y'all don't know nothing about that. I'm still confused. Hey, Sabrina, what's going on? Nice to see you. So yeah, that was my thing on that. But definitely check it out. Excuse me. It was definitely awesome portraits. Michelle looked as the former president says, fine as it was a really nice picture of her. It did.
Mhm.
It was very soft and very first lady ish.
Yeah. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I was going to say it felt kind of good to see them back in there.
Yeah, it did. It did. It felt like
that motherfucker was going nowhere near for as long as Trump was in
oh
there.
yeah, no. Even if he thought about it, Michelle gave him that face like, bitch, please.
We ain't going. I don't even know why you even said it. Don't even
fix your face. But we just down the block. I don't give a goddamn. We ain't even walking down Pennsylvania. Like, no, the hell we are not. So yeah, it was nice to see them. And of course, I'm sure staff was elated to see them as well, just as much as they were, because it was home for them for so long. So it was nice. And that was cool.
You don't know if Joe's going to make it another 4 years.
Notice. Not the way Joe was checking his ass. He didn't stand up when she stood up to, go to the podium towards the end. She's like, everybody stood up but Joe. And then he gonna stand up.
At first I was like, oh shit, he real late on that one.
Like, did he forget?
That was the first thing.
Poor Joe. Gosh darn it. Okay, so this article took me forever to find because for some reason I've used up all my New York Times article searches. So that's how much I pull up that stuff. So I had to dig to find it. But of course, Kansas was the first state to actually put abortion, the abortion Roe v. Wade on their actual ballot for their state. And of course, Kansas said, oh, hell no, bitch, you're not getting rid of our abortion protection. We're going to keep it. So next is Michigan. And beyond that, they're going to start putting abortion on the ballot to measure out if the actual states want to participate in overturning Roe v. Wade instead of just making it a statewide mandate. That, in fact, if the states want to keep it or keep certain provisions of it, then they would be able to protect it. So Democrats are hoping that by putting this on the ballot, that it will help increase voter turnout, as well as it'll be a test run for Michigan to see where they stand. Michigan has, as of late, been kind of purplish, bluish, reddish sometimes. Don't even know what the hell they want to do with themselves. But like I said, Democrats are hoping that this will turn the tide. The abortion rights have been overturned, of course, during Roe v. Wade. But this November, Michigan is hoping to put it on the ballot, giving Democrats hope for a wave of enthusiastic voters or women just really fed up with white men trying to tell them what to do. And it's another time for you to put on your pussy hats and actually do something with them instead of, walking around, dancing around with your little pussycat hats and acting like, oh, I believe in women's rights, and going behind the actual voting booth and voting against women's rights, which don't make no sense until the statistics come out who voted in what dynamic, and then they go, oh no. Well, but you got caught.
See this? You won't see this for a long time.
Right. That is crazy. But I think, and this other story, I think this was the show was about, that Baltimore show, the way we run this city, or something like that. I think. Oh yeah, I forgot the name of the show, but I just
you had it right. Rerun this city.
Okay, all right. So a gang rogue of police in Baltimore have cost the city more than $15 million.
That's why we got potholes.
More than potholes, child. So the long-term cost of the Baltimore Police Department, who are notorious for their drug they call it, their gun trace task force.
Of course.
Yeah, their disgraceful task force has cost taxpayers has just jumped to more than $500,000 in a result of a newly approved settlement with one of the gang's victims. So clearly,
Yeah,
people
but not
have
only
been,
that, all those cases that they had to throw out.
yeah. So the gangs that operated within the Baltimore Police Department has now cost the city north up to, or somewhere around, because I don't know why they put that, but north up till $15 million. Officials there continued to dole out payments to different victims. The Baltimore Sun has reported that the board has estimated and anonymously has approved about $575,000 in settlements to a man named Daryl Earl, who had spent 18 months in jail as a result of an encounter with 3 members of this police gang. And other victims are actually in court right now, settling out or prepared to be settled.
So it sounds like they're not done yet.
No, not at all. Not in the least bit. The officer who was in charge of all this, the ringleader, he had served the most time. He is now currently serving 25 years in federal prison in Kentucky, no less. Safe away from any people he actually put in a Baltimore jail for that. But yeah, he so far has.
He's still probably in protective custody.
Yeah, of course. But foolishness, absolutely foolishness. But if you check out the HBO series We Run This, it's basically based on those officers dealing and stealing. The same shit that they tried to do to Breonna Taylor. I don't give a goddamn.
And the murder of the one of the detectives.
I thought he killed himself.
Sure.
Well, in the series show, he kills himself.
Yeah, but that man didn't. I don't think he did that.
You don't think he did that because he didn't want to get caught up. So in the series, he killed.
No, but somebody caught him up.
Oh, interesting.
Because we don't snitch here in Baltimore.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh, they get, and as you can see, they get more than stitches.
Lord have mercy. Let's see. I think, what is this? I'm not sure what this was for. Where did this come from? Let's see. A pregnant Black activist is now serving prison time. Will have her sentence reconsidered. Brittany Martin is serving 4 years in a prison sentence for her behavior during a racial injustice protest back in 2020. Brittany Martin is a pregnant Black woman who was currently serving a 4-year prison term for her behavior in a 2020 racial justice protest back in 2020 in South Carolina, which essentially she was talking back to the police. Wow. So her sentence is being reconsidered as she is struggling to reach her estimated maternal due date in prison. She doesn't want to, of course, reach her due date in prison. So her sentence is being reconsidered. But 4 years for talking back to the police?
Yeah, it's normally like 90 days or something like that. But
But whatever reason, because of the protests?
They were saying because of her remarks, what she actually said.
Well, they said she was convicted of breaching the peace in an aggressive manner over comments that she made during a 2020 protest. Her attorney has been advocating for a shorter sentence due to the increasing concern of both her health and the baby's health.
Yes, because she's been losing weight and everything else because she's stressed out.
Yeah, she is due in November.
And they were supposed to be, I believe it was Monday, they were supposed to go back, I guess, to see what they can do about her sentence. And I haven't been able to find anything on it.
Yeah, a petition from Black Voters Matters have been calling for her release, claiming that Martin was entitled to a peaceful gathering with friends and to speak freely at the 2020 protests. However, the jury disagreed and considered Martin's comments to be a threat. What did she say? They still ain't said what she said. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get exactly what she said. But
Hey,
of course.
Good evening, everybody coming in the chat. Okay.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit those thumbs up button. If you haven't, while you're in here, just go back and do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. It'll be greatly appreciated. We thank you. But anyway, yeah. So although she was convicted for breaching the peace, like I said, this was during of course, killings of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, which sparked, of course, a nationwide movement in that year. So I don't know. That's crazy. Because also, too, it also says that Martin, in 2016, the Sumter police had fatally shot her brother-in-law 19 times when the officer said that he fired a gun after a chase in a stolen car. So, wow. That's crazy. 19 times? This shit is ridiculous. But 4 years is highly obsessive. Like, that is...
Yeah, like I said, for something that's normally, a couple of months at the most.
Yeah, that's absolutely asinine. That's crazy. Let's see. I think that's all I have till we get to some lighter stuff. All right. Yeah. So, real quick break and commercial. If you're looking for me any other place, of course you can find me everywhere. But if you're looking for me to just, if you see a news article that you come across or anything like that, and you want to find and check me out, you can always check me out at one of these beautiful places. Just send me a message, DM, and just make sure you keep it clean and non-sexual. All right. And we're back. All right. So this is the part where mainly we talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. And this segment is called, of course, you guys know it. If you don't know, you know it now. Who said that?
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
All right. So this is a segment where we can just let our hair down, where some of us, and just really relax and just have a good time on a whole bunch of stuff and other stuff, and even some of the other comments that maybe I've talked about earlier. This is, for everybody. So don't feel like...
I have something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nick Cannon.
What do you do now?
Oh, I was saying if Lin T drops out of the clouds. If I said
Like Candy Man.
Because she loves those Nick Cannon. You better stay away from that girl.
Like Candy Man talking about some Nick Cannon. Why can I see the... Okay, why can I see the chat now? What happened? Okay, well, I can't see the chat, y'all. Sorry. I don't know what happened. But
it disappeared?
It did disappear, and I can't even get back to the thing. So it's just okay. Well, whatever. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it. All right. So I'm not ignoring you guys. Thank you, welcome, and all the good stuff. But let's get into having a little bit of fun here. All right. So let's see. Where do I start? Where do I start? So I'll start with the counterparts. So you know how they always tell us, we got to watch out for our white counterparts, or they have to watch out for us because we like to steal and take things and all that kind of fool-la-la-nish. Here's a situation where good old Karen was being a little klepto. And this is the segment I like to call the Mayo. So turn down your volumes because this part is a little loud. Hold on one second. Yeah, so let's just watch Sticky Finger Karen do her moves because she did it. So you gotta watch it because it's real fast. She wasn't slow. I must give it to her. Homegirl was quick with it. I was like, oh, okay. But here we go. Look at the material. You saw it drop? Boom. And she moves. And she's gone. And nobody chased her. Nobody said, hey, stop. You stole that. Everybody just acting like that black lady said, I seen it. Look, she said, bloop. You saw it drop. And she went skoodoop, boop. And she walks. And she's rolling and she's going. And he's looking like, oh, where's my headphones? Oh my gosh, nobody's saying nothing. Homegirl said, I seen that shit. But yes, that was crazy. She did that real smooth. It just walked right off. But you see, nobody chased her. Had that been with somebody else, they would have made it their business to tackle somebody. Oh my
the first thing they said was, put that back. He has it right there.
Who has it? It's him, right? He took it. Get him. Somebody stop him. That's just what it would have been. Or stop her or whatever. So the fact that was just like, girl, bye. But
she had big balls because she did it right in front of everybody else.
Right in front of everybody, and nobody even was batted an eyelash. I was trying to put it in the thing, but I don't know why it just dissipated because I was going to put it in I can't even share it. All right, so I can't even put it in the private thing because there's no text. I can't even. This sucks. I don't know what just happened, but I can't even put it.
What were you trying to put?
The link for the. Thingy.
Oh, for that.
Yeah.
For that particular one.
No, for the StreamYard link.
Oh, okay. You would drop the link down.
Yeah, but I can't do it. Oh well. All right. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe you could do it. You do have control of it, I think. So I think you can do it. But if you can, because I don't know what happened. But anyway, moving right along.
You got an Apple, right?
Huh? Yeah.
You have an Apple, right? What do you thought I said? You got an.
No, I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said at first.
Oh man, wait a minute. Where'd it go? Oh.
So, okay. Now this is when I really need y'all to put y'all toys away, and please stop leaving your toys around for your children to pick up, because this right here, this ain't. This is not what you want. This is not what you want, Jesus. Lord have mercy.
Xavier, why did you put that on your face? Move. Why would you put that on your face? Let me see. Let me see. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see, Zay?
Oh my God.
That is so nasty on so many levels. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Like, first of all, that boy got a pink eye. And that, that boy got a pink eye for the rest of his life. He gonna have permanent pink eye. Permanent jaundice of the eye because he done got an eye full of his mama's juices. Just straight
Just
on
tickling his eyeball.
in the back of his cornea, everywhere. It's just straight juice.
I hope it was clean. I really do.
And oh my gosh. Please put your toys away, people. Put your toys away. There's no reason for your children.
That was his mama's rosebud.
That was the rosebud. This famous phenomenon that
it's like all of a sudden
going crazy for this suction rose that you place on your private pot, and I guess it's supposed to do some rose budding. I don't know, but
it
oh, okay.
It flicks and vibrates.
But it doesn't it suck because it was stuck to his eyeball like it was sucking.
Yeah, because usually the surface isn't that smooth where you could get a suction lock.
Oh, okay, so that's why it was sucked to his eyeball. Because I'm like, it's stuck there. It was like
he probably had it in his mouth. That's what I'm thinking about.
Ew.
You know he had it in his mouth.
Oh, so that would have been me though, as a parent, just cracking up like.
No, why are your mama's drawers? Why are your mama's drawers anyway? Behind it should have been way back.
I don't know.
With your period
panties, you had it. Why was he all up in the drawers, like messing with it, like just rosebud? And then he walking around with a swollen eye. And can you see? Can you see? Bad enough. I got to take you to the doctor and explain how you got pink eye.
So you got. I don't know. I don't know.
He got pink eye for real because he had a eye full of pink, and it was just as swollen as it would to be. I said, "Oh, poor thing." He told me, "It hurt." Yeah, I bet it would hurt.
I'm glad to tell you, you have conjunctivitis.
Right. You got conjunctivitis and yeast. What's going on?
With a touch of chlamydia.
Right. You better talk to your mama.
Mommy, my eyes all crusty.
Eyeball looking like Pillsbury Doughboy. Get the hell out of here.
So you want somebody to do a show? Let's say do a show and tell. I've never seen that before. Oh.
That is crazy. I just thought that was absolutely ridiculous, but funny as
get one of the ladies that already have one. It's not in my budget.
Pretty much.
I still work the manual way.
Right. All of that.
Yeah, but it is. You let your kid up there play because you know it had to be in the drawer. I hope she didn't leave it just sitting out somewhere. Right. And of course, he picked it up and he thought it was a toy. And especially if he turned it on and he's probably running around with it in his mouth.
Oh,
I'm telling you, that's the first thing I thought about. It's like, you know what, for that thing.
Well, hopefully she ran it through the dishwasher and it was clean because I can't see you putting that in your mouth and you smell like, and it smelled like it was just used.
She didn't.
And then maybe he could have felt like he was home, like it was when he came out of there.
I'm gone. Goodbye.
So anyway, in other news, other stuff to talk about. Of course, the trailer of The Little Mermaid has dropped, and people have been. Give me 1 second. People have been going crazy over this. Oh, give me here. Of the Little Mermaid thingamabob. Give me 1 second, because that's what happens when you have dual screens now. I can do all this so fancy. But anyway, give me 1 second, and I'll get this rolling. I don't know why I can't blow it up to where I want it to be like bigger. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it won't do it on TikTok when you're on TikTok screen.
Yeah, because then I gotta go back and hit that button and then hit the thingy button too.
Crying, but these videos of little black girls watching the Little Mermaid trailer.
I like you so much. Wish I could be.
What'd you say?
She's black. She's a black girl. They made Ariel into a black girl.
Action to the new mermaid.
This game.
Yeah. Nah. For real? Yeah. She's black? Yeah.
I'm trying to.
And she has just like you and me.
She does.
Now she's not me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
Is that the black version of Ariel?
Okay, how many more? I'm trying to figure out where were they at.
What?
Okay, they didn't hear she was gonna be.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's like, but you know what? These are little kids. They would.
Well,
they
some of the
would
little
pay it.
kids, I expect them not to know, but the older ones, it was like, girl.
You know what? They probably weren't even checking for it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like me.
I mean, it is nice that they see somebody that looks like them and they react the
The
way they
real
do.
her.
I am usually not the person to get
All
on the
right.
internet crying, but these videos of little black girls
Hold
watching
on.
the Little Mermaid.
All right. So that's that on that. I thought that was cute. With the because representation is key. So I
Yeah,
thought,
very important. But of course, we have trolls. We have trolls.
oh, do we?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
yeah, trolls. Yeah, I mean, you have people that get upset
Oh
because
yeah,
because you have a black
because you have a black, right.
mermaid,
Right.
or you have a black elf,
Mm,
but you can have a white Jesus, right?
right, right. They're fictitious characters, but Jesus can be white and it's okay. But again, Ariel is a Disney character; she's not real. But again, that's where that visual of them seeing themselves and everything that represents them, and when you show them something different that can represent somebody else, it's not authentic, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was crazy. Let's see what else we got here. I wish I could really see the chat. I don't know why that. I don't know what happened, where it went. That's irritating.
You got 5,000. He got 5,000 tabs on there. He's straining that computer, boy.
That's why I have the two different thingies. So that was that. Do I really want to watch that? No, not really. So okay, so then there was this situation. Here we go with you church folks. All right, so this pastor, I guess he's looking to go viral. I don't know what it is, but I'll be playing and stopping, and we'll be discussing as it goes along. So here we go with the first part of this.
And guess what? I'm straight and so is he. Because we got a whole lot. A whole lot. Of flowers in the church. They straight in the day and day and night. Oh, flower saints. If you're going to be gay, but don't be gay and in the church too. Be gay outside the church, but not in the church. Like the straight folk don't know even what they seeing. Like the women don't know you a faggot. Leave it outside the church. You better come in church. You came and shout straight. Somebody been on your back. That's why you can't shout straight. Put your tail down somewhere. I can't fool up with everybody. When nobody has to question your sexuality if you don't hang around certain kind of folk. Birds of a feather flock together.
What the hell? I mean, is everybody looking for their 15 minutes?
Yep.
So I have so many questions.
Well, start from the beginning.
Flowers? First and foremost, to be very honest, a lot of the churches, I mean, that storefront church with its 10 members, they ain't really missing much. But a lot of the other churches that like to promote all that kind of stuff, they wouldn't have no music ministry, nor any singers, nor any choir directors.
Or even dancers now.
Or dancers, praise dancers, or any other artistic part of the church would not exist without sometimes somebody from the LGBT.
Yeah, because as you can see, that pastor could not match colors. That robe was pink with that red. What the fuck is that?
I don't even know. He probably washed it so much that it was red at one point. Now it's pink. And first of all, where they have orange flowers from the dollar store, that's why you can tell that you don't really have nobody with no taste in there, because your stuff don't look right.
No, that was his prop he bought.
But
that's why his church is empty.
Yeah, but then I'm looking around at the congregation like, y'all go ahead, preach. And a lot of, the woman holding the baby, she either looks old enough to be that baby's grandmother, or if that is your baby, are you married? Probably not. So then, is that not going against the same kind of doctrine? No, I'm confused. Or is it just happens to be about homosexuality? I really don't understand. Or not be gay in the church, or you can't even shout straight. I didn't know shouting had a gender kind of thing to it. You either you shout or you shout. I didn't know there was a manly way to shout and a womanly way to shout, but I guess.
Yeah, but one thing he forgot that they're also taking their F money with them.
Yeah. That too. I really don't get it. I don't. I wish I understood it or to a point, but none of it. I just don't. The way they talk about people, the way they demean other people, none of it represents Christianity at all. And the fact
Well,
that they
a
keep
lot of
toting,
people they're playing. They're playing. That's all it is. It's a quick grift. You know, we can make some quick, easy money. I get to dress up, and I get these people to give me cash apps. Okay.
not the cash apps.
Yeah, the cash apps too. That's right.
Get all the cash apps.
But it's a grift.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous, and it's really sad because a lot of people look to the church for for a lot of things, for their salvation, for healing, and all these things, and to make people feel less than, or think that is something that I don't know, is something to be celebrated, is beyond me. And the people just, yeah, amen. And with the 6 people in the goddamn church, I was over it. I really was.
The sad part is you should not have to look this hard if you're looking to find a place to go fellowship with other people. And you should not have to look that hard.
Yeah.
You should be able to find what you're looking for somewhere.
Right.
This just tells you the bad state of just everything in general.
Church, religion, and et cetera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. But in and of itself, it is a personal relationship. And I think a lot of times people utilize how they feel personally about different things, and then use God to promote their personal feelings. And it's not what it's about. Like, I could give a care what you care about, or what you think is morally right. That's your personal opinion. You don't have to like people who happen to be LGBT, but as a person and a minister, you are to respect them. Like, you don't have to like it. It don't have nothing to do with you liking it. But I'm not here to talk about your personal beliefs. I'm here for the religious aspect of it. The religious part of it has nothing to do with your personal feelings. If I wanted a personal feeling about how I live my life, or how anybody lives their life, that's what God is for. I don't need you to display your personal feelings on my life, because your thoughts are not God's thoughts. So why would I then think that, I'm looking to you for your personal feelings on how I live my life? Like, nah. Not when I can look at your own life and probably find some personal stuff that I know God wouldn't be too pleased with your life.
Besides, I don't think you want to go up in there anyway. Look at that place. Looked like it had a lot of Rona.
Right, I was about to say, it looked like it had a lot of COVID, Rona and roaches. Okay, Rona roaches. So yeah, it just looked a little dusty. So, but yeah, I just find it to be a bit ridiculous. But that's where we're at right now. Everybody's looking for these 15 minutes of fame, and it's just like, you'll say anything to be on that viral moment. But when that viral moment goes left and people really start coming after you, because it's one thing to go viral, it's a whole nother thing now to get a backlash from everyone. Then news starts to pick it up and starts to really dig into who is this person? What is this church about? Where is this church located? When they start doing that and digging stuff up, then it becomes, oh, I didn't mean to offend anyone. I, with the utmost love of the Christ in me, all that bullshit. Like, no, you wasn't thinking about that when you were saying it. It was funny. It was something to say, right? So keep that same energy when that negative, well, not even negative, when the effects of what you said have a negative bearing on your parishioners, on where you worship, on the donations that you get, on the people that support you or sponsor your services or the things you do for the community. When they start to back down from you, then you start to think about the stuff you said.
Yeah, the church is supposed to be a safe haven. The world beats you up enough.
This is what I'm saying. So it's like, so you want the people to be a certain way outside of the church, which is beating them up on how they are themselves individually. Then they can't come into church where they're supposed to be able to come into the house of God, right? And be themselves and be safe. So you can't even do that. So where can you go? So basically, don't go to church. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So you tell those pastors and deacons or whatever that's feeling on the boys or whomever's feeling on the girls to stop doing that. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah. So
I mean,
just crazy.
it is. But you got a lot of grifters. You got a lot of grifters.
That is crazy. But speaking of feeling on boys or girls, so
Lord.
who said that?
How we get there? How we get there?
Because I said it. So speaking on that, there was an incident where Jay Dunn was talking to this young woman, and apparently the young woman was denying that they had spoken privately, and basically, kind of doing a ODS RICO situation where you're denying the person that you was involved with because either other people saying something or you don't want certain people to know that you had an engagement. And so the woman told Jay Dunn to show whatever she claimed she had, and she showed the entire picture, not just certain areas, but the full frontal picture. Of course, she blatted out, the areas, which is respectful. But she showed the entire picture to prove that they did have some sort of communication back and forth behind the scenes. Now,
will we be showing the picture?
Huh?
No.
No.
Will we be? We won't.
Absolutely.
Let me get my phone, y'all. There's always a backup.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'd already sent that. Check your phone.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. You didn't see me laughing?
No,
saw it. I saw you. I saw you.
But no, I personally won't be showing it. However,
it looked moist.
Two ways I feel about that. One, yeah, I do feel a way people shouldn't be denying people. But in the nature of this whole thing, people do it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? People want to fit in. They want to be counted. They do anything for clout. You know what I'm saying? So they will lie on you or kind of defame you, and then come to find out they've been talking to you the whole time, just for clout, for somebody to boost them up or for them to feel better or to look better in somebody else's eyes, which is very elementary, but you're dealing with a lot of elementary, unwanted, wasn't never counted, was never picked to play kickball kind of mofos in this element of YouTube. Because, of course, the popularity causes them to feel good about themselves because they never have felt this kind of attention before, which is whatever. So on that hand, I got it. On the other hand, though, it's like, why can't just personal interactions and relationships just be personal? Whether you fall out or not, just go about your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the person says whatever, just let it be.
Scorned.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's the level of I'm so scorned and I gotta say something. I gotta react. I gotta, and it's like sometimes the person ain't even worth it. The person ain't really worth it because it's like 9 times out of 10, you definitely have more damaging evidence than they could ever have on you. But are they worth it? They're not worth it. Hey, what's going on? We have a guest. It's the Rebel of the Sun.
Greetings. I'm gonna put my cam on. I have to put clothes on. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds. I wanted to chime in on this.
That's all it takes.
Oh,
okay.
If you're good, it does. Hold on.
Ain't no shame to his game.
Right.
I think this is, you know what? The thing is, we've normalized a lot of this.
On YouTube? Or you just mean in general?
Yeah, but it's just the thing that people find it entertaining, and it's crazy.
I can hear you. Oh,
like the whole Jay Dunn thing.
Because it's breaking up.
Huh?
I don't know if it's breaking up on my end or
It's
breaking up on your end, but it's like you talk and then it stops. So I don't
Oh no,
know.
that's just him stopping.
Oh, okay. That was just
Because
a
he's trying to
stop.
get he's
Okay.
trying to put clothes on.
Oh, okay. You really putting clothes on. Okay, look at you. Look at you showing off. Well, I mean, I can let you get dressed. I can let you get dressed. I can talk for a couple seconds in regards to this because me personally,
Oh, he was already dressed. What are you talking
I've had
about?
my picture exposed,
I wasn't
and
look at okay.
and the person that exposed it, I never gave my picture to. So I know how that feels. At the same time, I don't care what it is. I'm not ashamed of me. So you showing it don't mean nothing. I mean, you felt like you was doing something, but at the end of the day, I already had that on my own personal Twitter that whomever was connected to it could see it. So therefore, you wasn't doing nothing special that you thought you was kind of airing out, but you showed other people that didn't have access. So, I mean, it is what it is. But go ahead.
Someone tried to do that with me. This ex I had, he posted a video on the hub. Now,
Oh,
of course, I have a tattoo now that I didn't have then, so no one
right,
would know it was me, and my face
right,
wasn't showing.
right.
So a friend of the family saw it and went back and
No.
told my brother because he's known me for many years, and he was like, "I saw your brother. Your brother did a pee," and I'm like, "No, you made it like I did some type of professional thing, and it's being marketed."
Mhm.
I wasn't embarrassed, but my brother asked me. I said, "Yeah, I did that, but it wasn't supposed to be put online." I wasn't embarrassed. Listen, I like my body. You can't
Right.
embarrass me about it. It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
Right.
So, but the thing was, I laughed about it. Would I want to sit up with my aunts and older elders in my family and watch it? No.
Right. Yeah.
But
Definitely
if
not.
someone asked me if it was me and you found it, you would
Mhm.
have to really know my body because I have these tattoos now. I have
Right.
this spider web on my stomach. I didn't have any of that
Right.
back then. So you would have to have seen me like swimming or something to
Right.
know.
Yeah. To know that it's you.
But my thing is, why were you looking that close that you would know it was my body when we've never had that experience with each other? But you know,
Scoping you out.
Mhm.
but I think that I I think that it's just when glimpsed it, I
Mhm.
was a bit taken aback because I just think we've become numb to seeing something like that. It's just
Mm.
it was a lot to take in, and
Mm.
people bodies. Listen, all people, different bodies, people like different things.
Right.
Um, and I just feel the woman, she shouldn't be embarrassed about it. And the age, people saying, well, she's 40. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Right.
Yeah, I mean,
And if she did it, she did it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. My whole thing is like stand in whatever you've done. Stand in your truth. Stand in what it is. I don't
right.
know if she felt some type of way because people were like, "Oh, stay away from Jay Dunn. Jay Dunn is crazy or whatever." I don't know. So then it was like, well, I never talked to her. I never did it.
And Jada just wanted to wet her piece. She said she wanted to wet her whistle because she a dude. And I want to know if it was cut or uncut. That's all I want to know. Just,
It's black from Amazon.
but she
Is
said
that-
it was a white one also.
They both cut.
Oh, okay. Well,
I, mm-mm.
oh, I thank you, Aiden. No, I'm not doing Botox, just drinking water and having sex. But
It does a body good.
you listen. I didn't gain the little weight. And I was talking to you about everything, and I
Right.
did my thing.
Yeah.
And I was down to like 110. I'm 150 now, but
Mhm.
Wow! Oh my
yeah,
god!
yeah, it's mostly in
I'll
my
never
case.
see those numbers again. Never, ever will I
But
ever see
I
those.
think that the whole thing with the do you think that could be classified as a revenge? I don't want to say the word. You know.
No, revenge P. No, I don't, because the person dared her to do it. So it's almost like you gave the invitation.
Okay.
It would have been different had she not said that, or she just said, no, we didn't, blah, 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 blah. And then she just went and go, oh, we didn't, bloop. That would be revenge. However, in her saying, well, go ahead, do whatever you're going to do. Post it, as in a threatening manner. And she went and did it. So you gave the, you gave the
Cap, the thing is, when someone's asked me to show tattoos, I can stand up and be like, okay, here's my stomach. Look at my spider web. I generally don't take all my clothes off to show you a tattoo on my stomach.
Right.
Because she took the picture. She was like,
yeah. Well, personally, I don't know if she was just trying to show her.
Right. Because I'm going to tell you.
I don't think she was just trying to show her
a family friend had a tribal tattoo, and he supposed to have been straight at the time, and he wanted to show me the tribal tattoo. Now, if you're showing me this tribal tattoo, well, why the hell you didn't have underwear, no shirt, damn near button, to show me a tattoo on your stomach? Now, you're doing way too much.
Right, exactly. You being very
right. When you could have just stood up and raised your shirt up and showed me.
That's it. But
what you're trying to do would be a thirst trap and try to get a response to see what I was going to say.
Right.
I like that, and that was it.
Right. Almost like, you wanted to see this tattoo plus a little more, so I gave you a little extra.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's all it was. But again, about denying folks, it's like, don't do that. If you did it, you did it. Stand in it. It's cool.
It does stand up in it. Now, of course, I'm not body shaming, but it looked like she had a little, like some bullet wounds and arrow marks and train tracks running throughout that, but she still had pride in herself and
gave me a lot more like Cleo, set it off. It gave me very much set it off. Yeah. But I was here for it.
Because we all listen. I got a stretch mark here and there on my booty, so it's okay.
I mean, wherever you got it, you got it. It is what it is.
Real quick, and they didn't have time to adjust.
But the reality is, we all have different body types. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, embrace who you are. You know what I'm saying? Hips and all. Like And I seen the sneaky picture side profile they did of Jay Dunn in Atlanta. I was like, ooh, I didn't know you had all that, girl, but okay.
And then Jay Dunn from the back, when she be walking, Jay Dunn, she got the cakes of like a
look like grandmama. Wait a minute, like old woman in house dress.
The woman that sell little cookies and hamburgers in the neighborhood, and she would be smoking them cigarettes with a sundress with no candy.
Right.
And Jay, let me tell you something. Jay Dunn, those girls know what they be getting.
Right.
And she be saying, I run these bees and, I'm a dude. So...
Hey, the way she was talking about when she was telling the girl that play with you thing. Even the straight woman was like, "Ooh, Jay Dunn. So I can imagine it didn't take much.
Jay Dunn got some game. She be running. Jay Dunn got game.
At the end of the day, Jay Dunn, she's a woman naturally, so she knows what women want and cater to. So of course she plays to the side of her strengths that she has. So I mean, why are we knocking the hustle? Like, granted, I don't agree with the, someone starts attacking, then you just be like, okay, I'm gonna call your bluff like a poker player and raise the stakes, and now I'm gonna dare you to just like, okay, shut up, you better shut up, or I'm gonna keep going.
You get what you at.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the picture now. She looks all right. And you said she's in her 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she had children. She looks like she might have had a child. So she looks all right.
But why are you showing your face?
But this is what I'm saying. I think that was that was an invitational type of thing. It wasn't just like, I'm gonna show you my stomach. It was like,
Because let me see what what do you have to
what
say?
you gonna say?
Let me throw your little meat out there in front of you.
Right,
See if you're gonna
right.
nibble
To
on
see
it.
if you nibble on it. Right, exactly. It was a fishing expedition, and you threw that line out there, and it got bit on a little bit. It got a
Got
little
my
nibble,
three mouth
but
back.
what you didn't expect the fish to do was keep the bait. Held on to the bait till the time was when you talk about something. Nobody caught me. Nobody threw no line out. I don't know what you're talking about. Ill, not her. Ill, and she was like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay."
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Again, the same thing with the other thing. It's like, who
What
does that?
I was gonna ask you on the side note, they said Jay Wilson's channel got popped or something. He got struck.
Oh, no.
Deanna was talking about that earlier. Deanna and some people had called
Shut up. I missed it. No. Well, people
and I
always
was
say that
thinking and they were saying it was probably Bambi. Because when Bambi came on there, she was a little
okay. Well,
irritated.
because I saw a thing that popped up in, that suggestion thing that was saying he was talking about Jay Dunn, and he might have mentioned, I didn't watch it, but he was talking about, the title says something about Jay Dunn, something. So I'm sure he mentioned other people, and probably, possibly. But I mean, and again, this is where,
Hold on, let me get some.
you got to kind of be mindful about the things you say. Granted, everything is commentary, yes, but you still got to be mindful that these are people, and these are people with delicate situations, and you trying to make fun of something, because the irony is when it's you, it's I don't want to talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. Bye, and you clicking people off. But when it's somebody else, it's fun and games, and it's jokes, and it's everything else. But you're also dealing with someone else's trauma. So the reality is, how about you be more considerate about things? It's fine to do a commentary, but then still be considerate about the person's feelings and what they may be going through in these situations. Because just like you, when you don't want people talking about the stuff that involve you, and you're not going to talk about it, show that same respect, show that same emotional intelligence when it comes to other people.
And
like
I was feeling that I said this is what separates certain content creators. Some of us, everything is not a dollar sign. Everything is not about trying to get clicks and views at someone else's expense.
But it is when you need it. But that's the thing.
Right.
But that shows the difference. When you need it, everything is clicks and views. Because if you don't make it a click and a view, that rent's not gonna be paid. That mortgage ain't gonna be paid. That car note ain't gonna be paid. So there is the difference. When it's not, when it's just you doing whatever it is that you were kind of entertained with, and maybe you may add a little extra or do a little bit. It's a different kind of dynamic. But again, when you play that game, though, you can become the content. And you have to be
Van McAllister. Stop that.
Oh, not Van McAllister. He got a whole name.
Whole name.
Kai Van McAllister.
Yeah, he ended up whining because he hear me talking. But
Kevin.
But you're right, because that's the whole thing of you can't have friends on YouTube. When people say that, it's because they don't look at anyone as, it's like, I will sell. Listen, everyone can be ran over for money. I don't look at, listen, when it comes to a coin, everyone's expendable.
Yeah.
That's when people say that, that's what they mean. Right. When I say you can make friends on YouTube, because everything is not you trying to be.
You sure can. The only unfortunate thing about being some people's friend is that they're so used to having people do malicious stuff to them that they don't know how to be a friend. Because they always expect somebody to do something, and it's like, no, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. I don't operate like that. If I do something to you, trust and believe in my cancerness, I'm gonna make sure it's effective. So this is like all I gotta do is cut it off. Like, I don't have to see you. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be around you. That's a different story. If I have to physically be around you and see you. But this is like, I can cut you off. I don't have to pay you any attention. You know, like, what you say really don't make me shit, literally. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people take that type of stuff so personal on here that it's just like, they're not worth it. Like, they're really not worth it.
But one thing about a lot of the creators don't realize is that they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Because they wonder why that, you know, nobody wants to cash app them anything. Because you have to think twice about, oh shit, I can't have this person have my information. You know,
Right.
you really have to think about it. It's like, you know what, I really want to give something, but I'm not too sure because, you know, I am showing a little bit of vulnerability because you'll see my email address or whatever. It might have my government name on it, and they just never, you know, they don't think about it like that.
Yeah. Very true.
Oh no, Aiden. I enjoy some of Jay Wilson's content, but the thing is just, again, everything is a monetary gain for Jay. He doesn't. It's not people first and then money, or it's just my content. It could be something that's a very sensitive matter to someone. Still speak up on it just because it gets views. And if that's what works for you, cool. But this is why sometimes people get flagged, because they be making a lot of enemies with people because they feel like, listen, I'm going through something and you're kind of attacking me now. Because I'm going through something. This is life changing and you're making it content. Where some of us will be like, you know what, I'm not going to touch that. I don't care what kind of clicks and views they get. I could talk about something else. And I may not get the clicks and views, but it's not worth it.
But then you have them with very short memories, because they'll have somebody that's being vulnerable, and say a couple 6 or 7 videos down, they'll make the mistake and say, oh, well, I only wanted them because I know they would make a draw. You know, they'd bring the people, and I've seen them do it time and time again. It's like, why would you even say some shit like it? Just shut the fuck up. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You know, now you know it's going to get back to that person. And then you make yourself look stupid because now everybody's side eyeing you. Yeah. Except for your loyals, you know, you always have your cult following.
the cult that that'll follow you regardless. Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's really unfortunate, but yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I feel the same way with the people calling the police. Like, apparently I just heard that what's her name, Clive Diva,
I heard that.
Now I don't know if this is true or not, but allegedly Tracy called the police a wellness check on her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true that is of it being Tracy, but
she didn't call on herself.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. But like, girl, like, you're the same one that called on somebody else and they picked you up. So it's like, when do you learn? When is enough enough?
And the resources are not that. Listen, someone could be, their life could be taken, or someone can something be happen to a child, and you're calling about internet stuff,
right? And you faked away.
Like, Claudia is in New York, Philly, somewhere, and you're in
New
Texas.
York, Philadelphia, wherever. It's like, but how are you concerned? How are you concerned? Just like you can get on here and run your mouth about other people and things, then you handle it that way. The point of you calling the police does what, though? Does what? Knowing that you've already dealt with the same situation your damn self and almost didn't get out if it wasn't for some people donating you some money because you didn't even have it to get yourself out.
Right. And it's like you're playing with the law. You're taking away from people that really need their assistance. You're doing too much. First off, no one's coming over there to bother you because of the crime rate and the bed bugs. They're not going to take a chance going through the gate.
Bed
But
bugs. We
in a
talking
pocket,
about the whole
through the
living
gate.
conditions. We done seen the camera slips time and time again. Honey, ain't nobody stepping foot in there. You need a hazmat to put it to walk up in there. No, thank you.
Dre, them standing. They'll rob you as soon as you come through the gate, or you gonna put your tires on flat through the potholes. And random shopping carts from Fiesta down the street in the parking lot. But I think, you calling the police, it's just, come on now. Just roast and gag. If people are quick to
that's
say
it. Just leave it at that.
Deal with it.
That's all I'm saying. Just leave it at that. In the nature that we live in a serious tip, in the nature that we live in with police brutality and the killing of unarmed Black men, women, children alike, for you to be calling the police and thinking this is something funny, for them to come out to somebody's house and possibly shoot them over something that you're making up, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't even understand why people don't get it. Like, granted, I get it. It is the beef sector. You can't tell people how to beef. But all right, at the end of the day, we're still all humans. And if you can't just keep it on what I'm looking at for you and ragging on what I'm looking at for you, like your her prison picture, her screenshot, like, girl, you look like a Rastafarian. You look like with your natural dreads. What the fuck is that?
That's the thing, nightmare.
Like that's what you roast on. That's what people would roast on. The fact that you calling the police, that's not a roast. That's not dragging anyone because you're calling the police on them on some health and wellness checkup when you don't really give a shit about that person's well-being.
Right.
It's stupid. It really is stupid to me. I'm so over it. And it's like, at this point, you support it. If you support it, you're supporting bullshit. And you should know that. Like, at this point, I don't. Oh, well, I'm at Tracy's Pieces, and I don't agree with everything she does. No, you agree with it. You agree with it.
You know what? And Cap and Nate, in the country, my family have like corn, and some of them grow like they used to have watermelons and cane. And they would, and now when I say cane over here in this sector, I mean sugar cane, not the white one. But
I started laughing, right?
So they would have scarecrows to deter the crows and stuff, and some of the hawks from their chickens. So I was thinking about that mugshot of Tracy. There's possums and raccoons in the backyard getting your trash. If I put like that mugshot against the gate, I think that'd be a deterrent for us.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I'm
still trying to figure out what in the formation of dreadlocks is that on that woman's head. No. No. No, God.
But and people say that the beefing sector. Let me tell you something. When people say, well, it's the beefing sector, and they say that when it's convenient, but when they're caught up in it, it's like, no, you shouldn't have said that. I'm a dog you.
Right.
You saying it's the beefing sector?
Right.
And people say that because they be on BS a lot of times.
Yeah.
And that's like, well, I did that because that's the sector that we're part of.
Right. But that doesn't include, like, if I'm talking to you and I'm addressing you. I'm not addressing your relatives because I don't know them. Right. I'm not talking to them on YouTube. I'm not going back and forth with them on YouTube. I'm going back and forth with your ugly ass. That's what I'm talking to. So the fact that people be dragging like people's relatives and grandmothers and mothers and cousins, like, listen, you drag the wrong person's family and realize, oh, they not the ones to play with, because they'll come and get your ass. They don't got to worry about me saying anything about don't worry about it. They'll find you.
And that's when, why does it even have to get to that point?
Right. It shouldn't. Not at all.
It shouldn't at all.
It is absolutely ridiculous, and it should never get to that point. But of course, when you're dealing with immature people, a lot of times, it
you got to remember too, how many times can you play the same tune? It's only the same thing. You hear the same shit over and over again.
Over and over.
The shit gets old.
It's just like it serves no purpose.
Well, I tell you one thing: winter's coming, and they better get these channels straight. Get them back up and running, because winter will be here.
Ciao. So, lastly, of course, I wanted to touch on briefly the whole vanishment situation with DKL and Manila. So I was like, so, like, I mean, I watch, but I watch from a distance. Like, I don't really, like, I watch
DKL and who?
DKL Manila.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, like, what's the big deal? Like, I like I said, I normally watch in the distance, or I'll watch a replay. I don't really, because, granted, I'm not the type of person that, because you socialize with somebody, I'm gonna feel some type of way and not watch, but I'm not going to, like, present myself to where it would take away from your panel, because I don't, whatever, like, that person flick, I'll speed pass it on the replay and go to the parts that I find interesting, like before that person comes on and after that person leaves. All that in between I won't watch. So that's my whole thing. So it was like, all right, cool. So they're not, whatever. And then that became a thing. Sir King mentioned it first, that's not your friend. And he responded and said, that's been vanquished a long time ago. Now, I don't know if it was because Sir King brought it up, but it was like such this like anger. And I was just like, you just didn't discover that you was blocked from the channel when Sir King said it. I'm pretty sure you realized you was blocked a while ago.
When he said the date that he was blocked, he said August 17th.
But you already known, but you didn't think nobody else was going to notice. So once Sir King brought it up, then it was like, oh, I have to mention it. And it was like, for what though? For what? There was no purpose. If he did it privately and nobody known, why couldn't you just leave that to be private? And whether Sir King suspected it or not, let it be.
But it was like, I'm not going to let this girl get away with shading me, because I've seen you shade me and you've done some things that I've questioned, and I'm going to have to put you back in your place. Like I've always, done when I've said things about you that may have people take it as being demeaning, and they look
you
at
have. That's
which is true. A lot of people,
even on his own platforms, in his face, you've done it. So it's just like.
But he said that was how they communicated with each other. But Duchess, it didn't come from the same place.
No, it never does.
But I look at people even more so with a side eye. Those people all of a sudden that don't like Duchess. Let me tell you something. I don't care for Duchess, but I wouldn't change and stop liking someone that I liked yesterday because they fell out with someone else.
Right. Because a lot of people do that.
It's very, you're spineless.
Yeah.
Because you're a content creator. Now all of a sudden you have an issue with Duchess.
Right.
When you were on his panel, you were kikiing with him before.
Right.
So it's almost like, I don't want to piss this person off. So who do I think is the stronger content creator? Who has the biggest platform? I'm going to go with him as opposed to going with you, because I don't know.
Well, what they do now is, because I noticed somebody did that to me when I was just playfully dropping down just to make fun, because he calls himself the ops, what do you say, Op Nation. So I just dropped down just to be funny, just to be a little messy. And I noticed people are using troll pages to stay in his chat, so that way, Manila doesn't notice that they're in there, and they can be safe. So they'll use a troll page, and it's just like, girl.
But it's like
people can tell who you are from your language.
You're weak as hell, and you have to do that.
But
show who you are
from your language, from the
go
way
you want to go. We're not in. Listen, Jim Jones, David Koresh, all of those people.
Drink the punch.
Yeah, it's like you're just a mindless follower.
Yeah.
You teach your kids not to just follow and do what their friends
right.
do. You get on
and here you're a grown-ass adult doing the same shit.
A real grown.
Yeah, a real grown adult doing the same shit. And yeah, you teaching your children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews not to be followers. And here you go, oh, I don't like him either because you don't like him. Like, So what? You can be independent and like somebody that somebody else does not like.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, that's all I had.
It is crazy.
That's all I
I
had to
go
make
where
it
the hell
through.
I want to go. You're not telling me where and I will say it a long time ago. I don't put any content creator above myself.
Right.
I can respect you and what you do, and I can like you.
Mm-hmm.
We're on equal footing. I don't think I'm
Right.
better than you, but I damn sure don't think you're better than me. You
At
have
all.
your talents, I have my talents.
Right. I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, some people may think differently, but I mean, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it, just like I'm entitled to mine. So I totally agree with that. But on that note, I think that's about it. Oh, other than that, you don't watch Game of Thrones, House of Dragons?
Listen,
Oh,
you gave me that info.
listen.
I got to catch up. Listen, Christian, I am going to catch up on that either one day this week because I'm a sci-fi person, fantasy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought you would be on
It'll
it.
be all that one, yeah.
So I definitely listen. I've been reading the blogs and I be looking at the
Oh,
reviews.
boo,
It's got really
boo,
good reviews, so I have to catch up on it.
boo,
It's
boo.
only what 4 episodes.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, it's 4 episodes, but I'm also watching The Rings of Power.
Yeah.
So
And
the
that's 3
token,
episodes.
House
Yeah. That's on Amazon. That's good too. That is good too.
Well, you can come on in this sector of YouTube and see those characters. Golem, Thorin, Morgan, what's this Morgan?
Mordo.
Right. Wholeheartedly. All kinds of orcs. There's a lot of orcs running around
A
here.
lot of orcs.
A whole lot of orcs running around. But
Hobbits.
yeah. Oh, yeah, there are some hobbits. Yep.
I've dated a hobbit, a little pocket gay.
Oh. Little pocket gay. You like a little pocket
No,
yourself.
I dated a pocket
Where's
gay.
the poly? Oh, that must have been a
good.
poly pocket. That wasn't no pocket gay. That was a
About
poly
4'11".
pocket.
About 4'11".
Shit,
He
you.
had a Napoleon complex. Tend to kind of be rough during intimacy, but I have to leave that alone because we're not in prison.
Oh.
He kind of looked like you, Nate. He had bald head, brown hair, but shorter than this version.
Just absolute craziness. Yeah. And on that note, yeah. Just absolute craziness.
Y'all think can y'all tell that I had gained weight, a little weight?
Your face
In
is
your
full.
face.
Look at cakes that he got now. Look at them eyes that went down.
They didn't. They closed. Anyway,
Right.
so yeah, so definitely for this week, Friday, check me out with the Kings. I will be there. And thank you all for coming to support.
Drink some holy water. Go
On
into
Friday.
Kojic land.
Yeah, I'm Baptist, so I don't really do all that Kojic stuff. But I mean, it's nice. I've always been engaged, and I'm Baptist / Pentecostal, so I know a little bit.
Much. Y'all usually are much like yourself, most of them.
Excuse me, what? The what? I didn't hear what you said, sir.
Oh no, we'll have another story time on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, yeah, so definitely thank you for coming out to support that every Friday on the King Jives channel with the Kings and the Court. We should have an interesting show this Friday with all the new hot topics and stuff going on. So thank you for coming out and do that. Other than that,
Time is it?
time is the show. It's like 8:30.
Like 8:30-ish.
8:30-ishness.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely Fridays 8:30. Come check us out. And yeah, here. Otherwise, I'm here, and thank you for coming to check me out. And as always, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Rebel Son, you can catch him in his carpool conversations early in the morning or late in the evening, depending on when he's in the car and wants to have something to share with the rest of us. But it's always entertaining to watch him talk about, his little escapades as he's either on his way to work, coming from a little date, or just living his normal life.
Look, Rebel, when you see Lynn T, just say Nick Cannon 3 times.
Okay.
It's like saying the Candyman. But anyway, on that note,
Give
you
that
have
candy
anything?
away too.
What happened?
No, I said Nick does give that candy away. He's produced a lot of little candylings.
Whatever. And on that note,
Okay.
anything else you want to say before I hit the button?
All's good.
All right. Well, anybody and everybody, God bless. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Next time, America. Peace out.